Hello everyone, I am Kanakalakshmi, working as faculty of English in Sanjeev College of Arts and Sciences. Welcome to the online classes of CSS3. Today I would like to share with you a very important and interesting topic, body language, second lesson from Unit 1. It is important because there is a saying that the most important thing in communication is hearing what is not said. First, I would like to give you some background information about communication. Let us start with communication. Communication is conveying ideas, thoughts, feelings and attitudes both verbally and non-verbally. There are two major forms of communication, verbal and non-verbal. Verbal, it refers to words. Non-verbal, it has been defined as communication without words. Next, role of body language in communication. Body language is a form of non-verbal communication. It is an essential part of public speaking. Areas where body language plays a major role are workplace, job interviews, public speaking, and many more, where you are judged by one person or group of people. Body language is an important communication tool which constitutes 65% of communication. According to the social anthropologist Edward Hall, only 35% of the communication is transmitted by words. So, at least 65% of communication is conveyed through the body through non-verbal channel. There is a saying that the human body is the best pick of human soul. The ability to understand and to interpret body language can help you pick up on unspoken words, problems, or negative feelings that other people might have. You can also use it in a positive way to add strength to your verbal messages. In interviews, body language gives the interviewer a great deal of information that is not conveyed by the spoken words. It reveals whether the candidate is confident, goal-oriented, and focused. What you say during a job interview will comprise only part of your message. The rest will come from your body language. In the business world, your body language illustrates your confidence and commitment in more ways than you realize. That's why what you say may not matter, but the way you say it matters a lot. I mean to say, it's not what you say, but how you say it is very important. Well, people use nonverbal signs knowingly or unknowingly to convey their feelings. For example, if a student is slouching in the chair in the classroom and if he is not maintaining eye contact, this will signal to the teacher that he is not interested. If a person is yawning in the meeting room or tapping fingers, they will be perceived as stressed or disinterested. Now I would like to discuss about the features or functions of body language. As I said at the beginning that body language is a form of nonverbal communication. It includes some important aspects like facial expressions, gestures, posture, eye contact, appearance, space, touch, and paralanguage. First, I will start with facial expressions. We all know that face is the index of mind. The face is the primary source of the emotions. Hidden feelings of anger, fear, confusion, enthusiasm, and joy will get revealed by your facial expressions. Not only that, these facial expressions change continually and are monitored and interpreted by the receiver. For example, smile, frown, raised eyebrows, etc. If we say she put on a long face, it means that she was not in the best of her moods. American anthropologist Ray Birdwhistell estimated that humans could make and recognize around 250,000 facial expressions. Smile is the positive signal and is considered as one of the greatest body language signals. A warm, genuine smile communicate feelings that words cannot convey. It says, I am friendly and approachable. A smiling face wins many things in both professional and general situations. Now tell me, do you smile while you speak with people? Now, let us move on to the next element, eye contact. Eyes are the windows of the soul. Eye contact is the key part of facial behavior. The frequency of eye contact may suggest interest, confidence, boredom, or even dishonesty. The way you look at someone can communicate many things. Looking at someone's eyes transmits energy and indicates interest and openness. A downward look or avoiding eye contact projects you as less confident. In a job interview, eye contact will help to create a connection with the interviewer. When your eyes light up, your enthusiasm is clear. And don't forget to smile while making eye contact. Now tell me, do you look into others' eyes when you speak? Our next important element is gestures, which is otherwise called as kinesics. Kinesics is all about a communication through body gestures. To be effective, a speaker's gestures must be purposeful. All good speakers use gestures because gestures are the most effective form of non-verbal communication. People who communicate through active gesturing are evaluated as warm and energetic, while those who remain still are seen as logical, cold, and analytical. Gestures strengthen the audience's understanding of your verbal message. They dramatize your ideas. They provide visual support when you address a large number of people where the entire audience may not see your eyes. In public speaking, your body can be an effective tool for adding emphasis and clarity to your words. Gestures may be made with hands, shoulders, legs, hands, feet, etc. For example, thumbs up, shaking hand, tapping the fingers, nodding head, etc. Shaking hand is the quickest way to establish a rapport. Make sure you have firm grip in your shake hand. Now tell me, do you use hand gestures while speaking? Let us now focus on posture. The way a person stands, sits, or moves is said to be the posture. Your posture says a lot about who you are and whether you should be taken seriously or not. Remember that even while sitting, your posture conveys a very important message about your mindset. It is good to adopt a flexible, erect posture rather than a stiff or a slouching posture. An erect posture reveals confidence, while drooping shoulders reveal a feeling of depression and lack of confidence. Now tell me, do you always sit comfortably in the classroom? Let us move on to the next element, touch, haptics. Haptics is a Greek word which means able to come into. The way by which humans communicate through the sense of touch is called haptics. Touch can communicate power, empathy, assurance, modesty, and understanding. Examples: handshake, a pat on head, tapping on shoulders, a warm hug, and high five also. There are several types of touch, including a social polite, functional professional, friendship warmth, etc. Touch builds emotional connection and is fundamental to social communication, and several studies have shown that people can communicate emotions solely through touch. Let us move on to the next element, space, that is proxemics. Proxemics is an important category in the study of nonverbal communication. It is the study of space and how we use it, how it makes us feel more or less comfortable, and how we maintain space, etc. in communication. We all have a need for physical space depending on the culture. culture, the situation, and the closeness of the relationship. You can use physical space to communicate many different messages, including signals of intimacy and attraction. While maintaining a close distance with someone indicates that you are comfortable with them, and maintaining a greater distance indicates that you didn't know the person well or you are not comfortable with them. There are 4 types of distance that people generally use in communication. Number 1, intimate space. This is for people who you are very close to, and this is about 0 to 18 inches. And number 2, personal space. This is for talking to friends. It is about 18 inches to 4 feet. Number 3, social space. This is the kind of space probably if you are talking to a colleague. This is about 4 to 10 feet. Number 4, public space. If you are at an event or a meeting, you are probably about 10 to 25 feet away. Now tell me, do you maintain proper distance when walking or talking with people? Our next important element is appearance. Visual impact is as important as verbal impact. That's why appearance is also considered as a means of non-verbal communication. People will very quickly make assumptions based on your appearance, including the clothes you wear, how well groomed you are, etc. This doesn't mean that you have to spend hours putting on makeup before attending an event. It means that you should be clean, your clothes should be clean and ironed, and your hair should be neatly combed. Your appearance is a reflection of your own self-esteem. Your choice of color, clothing, hairstyles, and other factors form the first impression. That's why experts suggest that job seekers should dress appropriately for interviews. Professional and healthy dress code will be highly fetching in the interview room. Appearance reveals some crucial things like your professionalism or seriousness about occasions. Now let us focus on the next element, paralanguage. Paralanguage is the study of nonverbal cues of the voice. It includes voice, tone, accent, pitch, speed, volume of messages, pauses, intonation, and hesitation between words. We speak paralanguage when we sigh, clear out our throats, change our tone, whisper or shout, emphasize certain words, laugh or cry like the words ooh, hum, etc. These sounds do not have a meaning but convey the feeling behind the words. They are effective tools of listening as they maintain an unbroken communication chain. And your tone conveys a message to the receiver whether you are complimenting him or ridiculing him, because a complimentary tone is absolutely different from a sarcastic tone. In our own presentations, we can heighten our communication with our audience by using paralanguage appropriately. We can alter the tone and speed off our words, whisper or speaking loudly to emphasize our message. Now tell me, are you speaking too fast or sending the impression that you are nervous, or are you speaking too slowly and indicating that you are uncertain? Does the volume of your voice rise and fall for emphasis? Let us turn to the next issue, evaluating non-verbal signals. Dear students, if you want to work on body language, if you want to be a better communicator, It's important to become more sensitive not only to your body language but also to the non-verbal cues of others. Here are some cues to read body language to build better relationship at home and workplace. Number one, is the person making eye contact? Is it overly intense or just right? And the next point is, what is their face showing? Is it mask like and unexpressive or filled with interest? Uh, Next question is, does the person's voice project warmth, confidence, or is it blocked or flat? And the next one is their body relaxed or stiff? Uh, does the person seem cool, disinterested, or melodramatic? Is there any easy flow of information? Do nonverbal responses come too quickly or slowly? Once you have developed your abilities to recognize emotions, you will start to become better at reading the nonverbal signals sent by others. That concludes my talk for today. We will be back soon with another session on body language that covers the do's and don'ts of body language, positive body language, negative body language, why good body language is essential for students, and how to improve good body language, etc. Thanks for listening.